Ambassador Alina Ward stood beneath the vast dome of the Stellar Assembly, her footsteps echoing in a chamber built for 10,000 voices. Today, fewer than 300 remained. The rest of the seats belonged to the dead, civilizations erased, empires reduced to silence, histories scattered across lightless space. Her voice carried through the emptiness. This statement is for the archives, for memory, for whatever survives us. 52 years earlier, humanity had stood in this same hall and delivered a warning. They were mocked for it, dismissed as frightened children imagining monsters in the dark. "We were right," Ward said softly, "and now there is no time left." When humanity first reached the stars, they were insignificant by galactic standards. Their ships were crude, their technology inelegant, their bodies fragile. Most humans lived less than 100 years, while many council species measured their lives in millennia. To the elders of the galaxy, humanity was barely a blink. Earth was granted provisional status in the Assembly, one vote among hundreds, a courtesy, nothing more. Human delegates spoke, ancient races nodded politely, then they forgot everything that had been said. For 10 years, humanity behaved exactly as expected. They traded, studied, learned, smiled. They accepted their place at the bottom of the hierarchy. Then Dr. Elias Wren changed everything. Stationed at a remote research outpost near the galaxy's edge, Wren noticed something wrong in the cosmic background. Gaps. Absences where stars should have been. At first, he blamed faulty instruments. He recalibrated, reran the scans, watched for months. The voids remained, and they were growing. Something immense was moving through the darkness between galaxies. Slowly, only a few light years per century, but with undeniable purpose. Wherever it passed, nothing remained. No stars, no planets, no residual energy, only silence. Wren sent the data to Earth. Earth sent it to the Council. The response was immediate and dismissive. "Our scans reveal nothing. Your instruments lack sophistication. Short-lived species are prone to fear." Laughter rippled through the chamber. Earth's ambassador endured it in silence before speaking. "If you refuse to look," he said evenly, "you are choosing ignorance." The Council rejected the warning. That night, deep beneath Earth's surface, humanity made a decision that would define its future. "They won't listen," the ambassador said. "To them, this threat is centuries away, someone else's problem." "Then we prepare alone," said General Area Cole. "Quietly, completely." Humanity would live 2 lives. Above ground, they would remain cooperative, harmless, forgettable. Below it, they would prepare for extinction. Hidden shipyards were carved into dead worlds. Fleets were assembled far from known trade routes. Genetic archives were built to preserve life itself. Weapons were forged for a war no one else believed was coming. And every 10 years, humanity returned to the Council. Every 10 years, they brought new data showing the void drawing closer. Every 10 years, they were dismissed. "Your calculations are flawed. Your obsession reveals paranoia. You are afraid because your lives are short." Still, humanity waited. 73 years after the first warning, a frontier colony vanished. Not destroyed, not burned. Erased. 12 million lives gone without residue. The Council convened in panic. Earth's envoy stood before them once more. "We have been explaining this for 7 decades. A projection traced a crimson path inward from the galaxy's edge, cutting straight through the vanished system. "This is the Devourer," she said, "and it has entered inhabited space." For the first time, the Council asked humanity what to do. "Unify your defenses," Earth replied. "Prepare immediately. Reform this Council so no warning is ever ignored again." The vote failed. Humanity sealed its borders. The galaxy began to die. Refugees arrived in waves. Once mighty empires reduced to shattered fleets. Some surrendered their weapons and accepted human command without hesitation. Others demanded entry as equals. They were turned away. Humanity called it necessity. As worlds vanished, ancient powers finally broke. An arbiter whose species had ruled the stars for millions of years arrived at humanity's border with 2 million survivors from a population of 8 billion. "I accept your terms," he said. The pride died quietly behind his eyes. Integration began immediately. Alien scientists worked beside human engineers. Knowledge hoarded for ages was finally shared. Humanity's defenses, decades in the making, formed a fortified barrier along the galaxy's natural choke points. And for the first time, the devourer slowed. Human weapons disrupted its coordination. Energy fields destabilized its machines. Entire waves disintegrated into inert dust. But the swarm adapted. The war became one of exhaustion. Then the breach came. 7 points along the defensive line failed. Billions of machines surged forward, flooding toward human strongholds, refugee worlds, and Earth itself. Weapons were nearly spent. Shields were collapsing. Admiral Hale issued an order that silenced every channel. Rammed. Human ships, thick-hulled, inelegant, built to absorb punishment, drove straight into the swarm, one after another. 217 vessels sacrificed themselves. The flagships struck the core. The explosion collapsed the swarm's communication network for 3 critical minutes. That was enough. The line held. 8,000 human crew members died that day. Years later, Ambassador Alara Voss delivered humanity's final address. "We are young," she said. "Our lives are brief, but we prepare for catastrophe because we understand something you did not." She faced the survivors, once great species now clinging to existence. "This is not paranoia," she said. "It is wisdom." Behind her, the map glowed blue human-protected space, smaller than what was lost, but alive. 42 billion lives endure because we prepared while others laughed. The swarm was not destroyed, it was watching, waiting. So was humanity. On a refugee world at the edge of protected space, a teacher stood before children from a dozen species. "The universe is dangerous," she said. "The only way to survive is to prepare." They repeated the words. They would grow up in a galaxy shaped by human resolve. The warning had become history. And humanity, the species once mocked for seeing monsters in the dark, had become the light that held the darkness at bay.